If you've ever wondered if there was somebody who might be able to help you to understand what it is that goes on in this little Medicare, Medicaid, information, health world, we've got an expert here that's going to help us understand it. Stay tuned for this one, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show. I am your host, the Cardinal Cowboy, and a topic that isn't one at the top of the list for most people, saying, I can't wait to talk about Medicare, but is one of the most important things you're going to run into. If you don't have that set correctly, you can cause yourself a lot of headaches. Is that true?
It's true. Yeah, definitely true.
Barry Baker is in the building here with us. He is a certified Medicare insurance planner. Sounds like, if you listen to that first interview, everyone, he literally doubled my knowledge in about 3 minutes. So he obviously has some expertise with regard to Medicare. We're going to go over some more of that. And we're going to finish up talking with this first part of our discussion. We finished up the last show was, what's the biggest mistake people make? And you said it's if they go with that cheapest plan. That seems to be a theme for life. Cheap gets very expensive. Why is that true in Medicare?
Well, if later on you get sick and you have some major issues, you find out that the plan possibly is not covering everything that you need covered, and that could be costly.
Well, nobody's looking for the cheapest way to get into something so that they don't get things covered. They're looking for reasons how to get things covered. And so what are some of the variables, as I get into this a little more, where you can spend, is it little options or riders, or how does somebody assemble the best plan to cover what they need? And why would it be different from one person than it is from another?
Well, Medicare supplements, well, number one, Medicare itself, if you figure the rule of thumb is that's going to pay 80% of your bills. And then Medicare supplements are going to take over and pay some or part of that 20%. So if you get a plan that pays all of the 20%, okay, you're fine. But you're also at the highest part of premium, that you're paying the most for the plan because it's going to cover more things. Now, if you get a plan that does not cover 20%, that Medicare didn't pay, if it only covers half of that, or it only covers a fourth of it, or some things it doesn't cover at all, of course you'll get a lower premium. But then if you have issues and you have surgeries or different treatments that you need, you could be paying a lot of money for that 20%, because there's no cap on that. Medicare says we'll take care of 80%. Well, the 20% could be $20,000, could be $30,000. There is no cap on that. So the supplement comes in and it covers a lot of that. But if you get one that doesn't cover much, you're not going to pay much, of course. But if you have an issue, and these plans are not that easy to change, you can't do it every year. It's just not that easy to do. And once you have to go through underwriting, if you have to answer the questions, the health questions, if you do have a surgery coming up, you might not find an insurance company that'll sell you a supplement. So you got to be careful what you do and how you start it.
And this is separate from your health insurance. Tell me, because now you bring up another topic, and maybe it's outside of this, but the universal health care, Obamacare, that was going to cover everything, even pre-existing conditions.
Obamacare has very few things involved with covering people that are 65 and older and people that are on Medicare.
Okay.
So they don't have the rule they made for under 65 that an insurance company could not turn you down because of a pre-existing illness or some illness that you had or some surgery that's coming up. But they didn't cover Medicare for those things. So an insurance company, a supplement company can say, we know you have something coming up, we don't want you. We're going to deny you coverage. We're not going to cover you. It's not a matter of having a higher premium or anything like that. They just say, we're not going to cover you. That's it.
What are some of the basis that they come up for that?
Well, it depends what you have. It depends if somebody has, just been found to have some form of cancer. That may be enough for them to turn you down, just to deny coverage. There's a few other things. If you just got out of the hospital for something, a lot of companies will turn you down on that basis.
So these are separate from actual Medicare for the government. You're talking about the supplements.
This is a supplement.
Okay.
This is for coverage for that 20% that Medicare does not pay.
Okay.
Which again could be costly, but if the company turns you down, there's nothing you can do about it.
Do you have the opportunity then to go to another company, or you got to try?
Well,
wait
you
till
could.
your health gets better, or what's
well,
it?
you could.
Both.
Well, you possibly have to wait 5 years. I mean, it's. Or you can go to another company, see who's the most lenient in your state or your area. A lot of companies, they ask 20 to 30 questions about your health, and if you answer one of them, yes, I have that, then they could turn you down. So it's not that easy. You can't answer, but you got to be truthful. You got to tell them the truth on answering the questions.
Right.
Because later on they'll just say, well, you answered it wrong. You committed fraud. So
Nobody wants that. Well, this seems to be, again, back to something that does seem to be a bit complicated for the average person. How many different variables are there between companies, and do they have different offerings and different? I guess they all have their own guidelines for what they've established.
Right.
And how do you pick which one is best for you?
Well, usually on a supplement, they're standardized plans. So the benefits on a supplement, for instance, a Plan G, every company has to have the same benefits for a Plan G.
Okay.
And that has a $257 deductible currently, is what that has. But everything else in that basically is covered. That 20%, almost everything is going to be covered. But if you look at the premium, it's higher than what some of the other plans are. And if somebody, talking about mistakes, buys one that the premium is less, that Plan G, if they buy an A or a B, and they're because their premium is less, but those plans don't cover as much. So when it comes time, if you do have, let's say, a surgery, or you run up a $100,000 bill, the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay may not cover a decent amount of your bill.
Okay, so back to, we better find an expert that can help us guide through this. What's the process? A little bit about this. I mean, what does it take for somebody, and how long does it take for somebody to go through this process to get vetted so that they can fill out everything properly and get enrolled with the right coverage?
Well, the process to get actually on Medicare itself, it would take 15, 20 minutes to go online and do it and apply. But it could take up to 10 days or so to get a response from Medicare, get a letter that you have Medicare and that you have your card, Medicare card. It's a little red, white, and blue card, and that you're on Medicare. And then, of course, they're going to send you a bill for your Part B premium. Then when I come in after that, 45 minutes to an hour meeting explaining to you all the basics of Medicare and signing you up for a plan that fits your needs.
Wow. All right. Tell me, after doing this for 25 years, I can imagine. Give me a couple of examples. Some people you helped that were in a tough situation and didn't realize the help they needed, but you were able to come through for them and help them. Not naming names, of course, but a couple examples.
Well, I have a client that has been my client for about 10 years. He's now 75, and he is diabetic, and he constantly was being put on different drugs all the time. And we were every year just doing, I would do an analysis of what his drugs were for the year and what the changes were, and almost every year we changed his drug plan. We constantly were doing that. making sure that keeping his costs down as much as possible. Other people, that I've had on Advantage plans that have had really good coverage in the different surgeries or different things that they've had. An Advantage plan is almost like what an employer plan looks like. You have co-pays and co-insurance. Most of them are now currently in Missouri. They're HMOs. If you go to the network, it'll keep your expenses down. So you go to the doctors that are contracted with the companies. I constantly make sure that my clients, that their doctors take the plan that they're on. Because doctors don't have to stay in these plans forever. They switch around themselves, just as the people who are beneficiaries of Medicare. They switch around to different plans every year, finding out who offers the best over-the-counter benefits. There's some non-medical benefits that some of these plans have, where you can go to Walmart or CVS or to Walgreens and you can buy Band-Aids and toothpaste and vitamins and
all that would be covered inside the plan.
And that's covered within the plan. There's certain allowances that are given. Medicare itself doesn't cover dental, vision, or hearing. There's three categories where an Advantage plan covers some of those things. Some of the companies have $4,000 and $5,000 allowances for dental coverage, which if you need dentures of some kind, or you need crowns, or you need something that's pretty expensive. So, a decent amount of coverage, $3,000 or $4,000, could help you out.
Now we're throwing in medical and eye vision, everybody. I mean, this is, again, back to you better find yourself an expert and somebody. I don't know anybody I know that's done this for 25 years. And it's been, how has it changed for you over the last 25 years? I mean, guess what? Everything was done by paper when you first got started.
Right.
Because the internet changed the way things are done now.
Now we can do a Zoom meeting with the client, and we don't have to go even see him. So, or we could see him on the computer. No, when I first got into a Part B premium was around $80 a month, and now it's going to be over $200 a month. So that 25 years, that's, I don't know what the percentages of increase.
Yeah, it's at least 2.5 times.
But it's more than, I think, the cost of living, because healthcare has gone up a lot more. I know Social Security, I think, is going to go up to next year. It's going to have a 2.6% increase, but Medicare is having an 11% increase on its premium.
Wow. Is there any way to lock this in so you don't have to keep paying the increases, or what's the best way to manage that?
No, since I've been in it, I think there was only one time where that Medicare premium actually was reduced one year. Other than that, it's always gone up.
Is the best plan for people to make as much money as they can, save as much money as they can, so that they can, because how often is it they say, we'd love to give you that treatment, but you can't afford it, so you're not going to get it?
Well, the best plan is to stay healthy. I think that's it. So,
there we go.
So somehow, if you have good genes and you can do everything your doctor tells you to do, your exercise and eat right and stay healthy.
Exercise, eat right, and stay healthy. That way, our good friend here will make sure to get this done for you. But Barry can see it once every 6 years or so instead of every.
Well,
depends how often. How often do you meet with somebody, the average family, when you're helping to set them up on a plan like this? Is it once every year?
Well,
one time initially, and then every.
Right, it's a couple times. It's at least one time a year.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to stay in contact.
You better stay in contact with your expert. Barry here knows what he's talking about and has been doing this for 25 years, everybody. So looking for an expert with that. We're going to share a little bit more about our fun in the community here, and we'll be back with a little more excitement here. Check this out as we were hanging out with the SLU basketball guys. Here we go. All right, everybody, we're here with the SLU basketball team enjoying this awesome event. First up, Robbie. You're a little taller than me. I guess you play for the basketball team at St. Louis University.
I do that, yes, sir.
What's your position? How long have you been on the team?
I play center. This is going to be my second year here at SLU.
Are you excited about the upcoming season?
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun season. We can't wait to get started.
What do you find most exciting about this event here today at Delwood Rec Center?
I think just seeing the community get together, seeing the camaraderie between people, on this lovely holiday. Obviously it's a big thing to celebrate, and so just seeing everybody out here together having a good time is awesome.
Do you think I can help you maybe with a little bit of your slam dunks, maybe?
I think you can help me a lot, yeah.
All right, we'll work on that later.
All right.
Thank you, Robbie. What's your name?
I'm Dion Brown.
All right, Dion, what position you playing?
I play combo guard, sometimes small forward as well, so 1, 2, and 3.
I was not a basketball player at this level, obviously, everybody. So you shoot, rebound, dunk, the whole thing?
That's it, anything I can do.
How excited are you about playing for SLU this year?
I can't wait, it's got a great group of guys, it's my first year here, so I'm kind of meeting everyone for the first time, but I can't complain, I love it here.
How fun has this event been for you?
It's been great, we got to see people, we got to help out a little bit, taking out the trash, got to meet people, take pictures, spend time with the community, with the youth, so it's been great.
If you need any help with your three-pointer, you let me know.
Yeah, you can help me right now, actually. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good deal.
His name is Carter Rathwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rathwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up.
Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, there's some of the fun stuff we get to do in the community and a little bit we share with our experts who want to learn about gold. Media has changed the way the world evolves, though, and that's where I wrote this book. This is called Magnetize Media. Yours truly wrote the foreword. They said, Carter, you wrote the first chapter, kind of a little more than they initially had planned, but they said it was good info and helps people understand how media has changed the world. There's my mug on the inside here. But this book has just got a great outline. It's just bullet points. It's not all kinds of text. It'll help you understand the way media has evolved and how you can use media. How has technology, how has the internet changed the world, especially in your world, Barry?
Well, we now use it a lot. We use it to sign people up. On the internet, we can communicate with, through the computer, through the internet. We can have papers signed and documented and go back and forth through emails or texting. So it's a lot different than just having somebody sign an application and fill it out and that's it. Send it in, email or not email, just U.S. Post.
The U.S.
Office.
Postal, yeah. the old-fashioned snail mail they call it now.
Right.
But so is the internet and everything you use, is the tools that are available, has it sped up the processes that has made it easier for people to get assigned and get the right coverage they need?
No, that process is still about the same. You still have to know which plans to be in and to get on. That you still have to know. You still have to know. Well, you have to know now which companies are going to survive even. So there might be some consolidation coming up in the healthcare industry. There's companies being every day being bought out or not are finding out that they can't make money anymore on supplements. Supplements are a very, very small margin business. So, in that regard, they're having a tough time.
But yeah, then how important is it to understand the broker you've decided to go through, the company you decided to go through, they have the right pieces in place? Can they pay the bill? Or are they going to be around 5 years from now?
Right. Well,
or even next year.
Like I have the data, and I know which companies have had the least amount of increases in premiums. That going forward, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but we could tell people that in the past 10 years, there's certain companies have not had big increases in their premiums, that those companies might be a better choice than others. There's always some companies that come into an area brand new and they try to lowball their prices on things, and they have some really good low prices to start with. Later on, though, that price is going to go up because they can't make money on the product, because it's still a very low margin business for supplements. Advantage plans are something different, because advantage plans at zero premium, your premium is being paid by Medicare. They're paying that premium. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it could be $1,000 a month is being paid by Medicare for a person. And that if the company can't make money also that way, they may go away. They may stop. There have been companies that have come into Missouri. They've had low prices on supplements, and after a couple of years, they decide to get out of the business, just not to sell them anymore in the state, because they don't make any money on it.
Wow, lots to negotiate there and understand what you're getting into. Tell me the process, though. I can imagine somebody with your expertise, a lot of people who are watching this video would say, I think I should call Barry. What is the best way for them to get started with you so that you can help them?
Is really to call me or text me, and I can then provide them, instructions on how to sign up actually for Medicare. And after that, then once they get their Medicare, or if they already have their Medicare card, they already have their A and B card with an effective date, which is within the next, 90 days, then I can then call them or see them or go through the internet and show them what the different plans are that would help them pay what Medicare doesn't pay. That's the part where we come in.
Okay, so it's as simple as they can just text right there on the screen. I've got that number up. If you look at the screen here, I'm gonna force I'll let it go, and there it goes. But certified Medicare insurance planner, Medicare plan agent, agentbarrybaker.com. Your phone number 314-537-5220, and they can call you or they can text you there.
Right, that's right.
Okay,
They can do that.
That
Just not at 3 a.m.
You'll answer it in the morning when you wake up, right? I get how that works. Well, tell me then. As a matter of the process here, what is one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome with regard to the business? Is it the constantly learning the business, or just helping people? What is the biggest challenge you have?
Well, it's the constant change. That every year we can have, a pretty big change in pricing, in coverage, different things, different drugs are on the system or off the system. So it's the constant change that presents itself. The basic part of Medicare usually doesn't change, but all the peripheral stuff, and on the fringes, that always changes.
And is that to do with just the age? The periodic tables say, oh, the charges should be more. Or is it because of the medical improvements, or is it also do with the medications that are out there? What are the biggest variables that cause that?
All of that, all that goes into it. Every part of healthcare is affected. You know, you think about it. Most of the people that go to hospitals and doctors, they're on Medicare. 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds that they're out playing golf, they're in good health. They're not in the equation yet.
Yeah. So back to what you were saying previously, the best way to handle this is to be healthy, stay in shape, to where this doesn't become an issue for you. I'm working on that myself. I try my best, but I can tell you, as busy as the world gets, and there's so much, it just goes, what do you call it, naturally or unnaturally, through the food that we eat and all the different supplements that we have. I'm not talking about Medicare supplements, but I'm talking about food fiber and vitamin C, vitamin D, all of those things play into this. And then do you have time for them? And do you get the right amount of exercise? All of those have an effect on what decisions you're going to help people to make.
Right.
Okay. Tell me, what's the biggest question people have for you? Is it always price, or are they concerned with what their coverage is, or what is the biggest question people often have for you?
Well, most people come to us, they have more than one question. They have a zillion questions. They just want to know, how do I do it? Do I have to do it? Why do I have to do it? And basically how to do it. Make sure that they're not penalized later on. There's some penalties that could incur. Some people just don't know. And there's a lot to know about this. It's not an easy subject, Now, just to make sure you're straight on this, Medicare is a federal program.
Right.
Okay, now Medicaid is a state program.
Okay.
Now, the state funds that, but it also gets funds from the federal government. But that's totally different. Medicaid is totally different.
Clear as mud. It's state-run, but gets federal, but it's not a... Back to, again, get an expert that can help you to understand this, because even with 25 years of experience, you still have things you have to learn all the time to keep updated with what you got. But do you think your experience helps you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Well, when I have 25 years of anything, it's got to put you at the head of the pack with regard to how you can understand and help people with the business. Well, as we finish up here, tell me, what would be the one bit of advice you would have for anybody who's in that age, 65 and up, to follow? One piece of good advice.
Start when you're 64. Start trying to figure this out early. Don't wait until the month before your birthday at 65. Start early. Call us early. We'll work with you throughout the year or however long it takes.
Start early, get it done, plan it out, and have an expert help you. Mm-hmm. Barry Baker here, everybody. He will help you to make the right decisions so that you don't end up in that mix going, oh my gosh, I've got all these bills and I don't know who's going to pay them. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.